What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my History of Godspeed video. Now, with the launch of the new Rebirth series, the Flash was introduced to a new speedster villain, Godspeed. But where exactly did Godspeed come from? Everything started when a terrorist group known as the Black Hole caused a Speed Force storm in Central City. Lightning began to strike the citizens of Central City, including one of Barry's close friends, August Hart, giving him Speed Force powers. The Flash decides to train August to use his new powers and eventually gains August as his new partner. August even puts together that Barry is the Flash, which, being completely honest, isn't really that hard. I'm surprised nobody's put it together before, because when someone gets hit by bolts of lightning and comes out completely unscathed, you would think there's something weird going on there. The Flash and his new partner begin to take on the Black Hole terrorists, as well as help all of the citizens who were struck by the Speed Force lightning. Eventually, all of the people who were struck by the Speed Force storm are attacked and have their powers stripped away by the new speedster villain, Godspeed. Even Barry's new girlfriend, Mina, is seemingly killed by Godspeed. With Barry's new girlfriend dead, he decides to devote all of his time to stopping Godspeed, and eventually he figures out that Godspeed is none other than his close friend, August Hart. When Barry goes to confront him, Godspeed tells him that he's not really cutting it as the Flash anymore, and the people he stole the speed from weren't deserving of their powers. Godspeed then reveals how he was able to commit all these crimes while still being with Barry. It turns out that he's been able to do something that the Flash has never been able to do. He's actually able to be in two places at once. As he's telling Barry all of this, he constructs his Godspeed costume out of pure Speed Force energy. Which is crazy, because if you guys don't know this, the only person who's actually been able to do the whole create a costume out of Speed Force energy is Wally West. Actually, it's been both Wally West. The Wally West before Flashpoint and the new Wally West that was introduced in the New 52. As Godspeed is giving the Flash an epic beatdown, he starts to hurt, revealing that he can only split his form for a limited time. Barry makes his escape, and Godspeed decides to let him leave so that he can go and dispense his own version of twisted justice around Central City, killing any criminal he can find in horrific ways with his Speed Force powers. I mean, the stuff is sick. He does some really twisted stuff with the Speed Force. Barry realizes that the only way he can even stop Godspeed is to combine his speed with all the other speedsters who still have Speed Force left in them. And while he's doing this, Godspeed shows up and lures Barry away from Star Labs where all the speedsters are and towards Iron Heights. He tells Barry that he's gonna kill everyone in Iron Heights, including Eobard Thawne, the man who murdered Barry's mother. All because he wants Barry to be able to live a happy life, free of all of this responsibility that he's put on himself. Barry's able to stop Godspeed temporarily by short-circuiting their connection to the Speed Force. But of course, Godspeed still has the advantage because he's faster and he can make the fight 2-on-1 anytime he wants. Unfortunately for Godspeed, he wasn't expecting Wally West to show up, and the combined speed of both the Flash and Wally was enough to stop Godspeed. Godspeed was able to get his second win though, and he makes a bolt for the Iron Heights prison again, and Barry tells him he's not gonna let him go. Eventually, the Flash grabs Godspeed and almost breaks his neck, but stops when he realizes that heroes don't kill. And this is an amazing moment because if you guys didn't know, before the whole 52 Rebirth thing, the Flash actually killed Reverse Flash. And this is exactly how he did it. This was a huge callback to when he killed Eobard Thawne. With August finally locked up, Barry goes to tell him that one of the criminals he killed as Godspeed wasn't the man who killed his brother. And August tells him that it doesn't matter, because he was still a criminal. And he also tells him that he doesn't care if Barry tries to find his brother's killer, because he's not going to do it. Then he taunts Barry by telling him he doesn't even really know who's behind the Speed Force lightning storms and who's the real leader of Black Hole. And that just like he was going to keep Barry's secret, the secret as to who's really behind Black Hole will be August's secret. He then smugly tells Barry that he has a feeling in his gut that Black Hole isn't done messing with him yet. And one day in the future, Barry's going to come running to him, his friend, for help. So clearly we're going to see Godspeed eventually show up again, but for right now, the threat of Godspeed is stopped. If you'd like to read the run of Godspeed, then you can start with The Flash Volume 5, Issue 1. But I'd like to tell you that the concept of Godspeed isn't even introduced until Issue 3, and Godspeed himself doesn't show up until Issue 5. And the whole run goes through Issue 1 to Issue 8. For more comic book videos, make sure you guys stick around, and if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to do them, alright? I'm so glad I finally got around to this. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.